Hey there, we're still in Cuenca, Ecuador in our $300 two-bedroom, three-bedroom, two-bath, mostly furnished apartment. This is the kitchen right here. And
cockpit, getting some hours.
you have to understand the technical side.
All right, Sammy, we're gonna make some banana bread.
I can understand it a little bit. Like this car wash, and then you know,
Good job, Sammy.
and then you put all the rock in. And that's not
This is a healthy banana bread, by the way.
No, over here.
This is gonna be a healthy one, no sugar.
Everybody like the gravel. That might be 5 or 6.
Hello, welcome to Frank and Angie's channel where we discuss the retire early lifestyle, whether it's at home or abroad. Thanks for coming to our channel.
Oh right, you're saying, okay, what about the guy that lost his wife? We were walking downtown today. We do a lot of walking. No matter where we're at, we're always walking and wearing out shoes. The guy that we met today, when we were walking, we went to the health food store. Hi, I won't divulge your name. I'm gonna call you John. I won't divulge your name. You might not want me to. I didn't ask you if I could mention your name, so I'm just going to call you John. And he came into the health food store. We were in the health food store buying our health food store stuff, and he came in and said, "Hey, I recognize you guys from YouTube." And he was really nice and shook our hand. He was a really nice guy. Hi, John. And then he went back outside and he said, "Oh my gosh, I lost my wife. She doesn't know I walked in here." And she kept walking. Angie, do you and I do that once in a while where I'll stop in, we're walking, you and I are walking, Angie and I'll be walking, and then I'll stop somewhere and she keeps walking.
It's easy to do.
And then she's 30, 40, 50 feet up and it looks around and can't see me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, where's Frank? He got kidnapped," you know. But that's what this guy did. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, my wife's gonna be so upset. I lost her, or she lost me. I don't know which one it was." But anyway, John, I hope you found her and say hello.
He said he knew where she was going, so.
He knew where she was going, but she might not have went there after she couldn't find him. So you know how that goes. Which reminds me, one time we were in Quito with our sons, and if you've never been to Quito, the metro there is like trying to squeeze 3 cans of sardines into 1 can. So when people are trying to get on, it's not a guarantee. And they didn't get on. They were with us, and we got in, and they didn't, and the door shut. And when we went down the road in the metro, and here they are. They've never been anywhere abroad. They don't speak the language. They don't really. You know, we weren't in Cuenca, our hometown. We were in Quito, and so. But they did the right thing. They stood there and sat there and waited, which was doing the right thing. That's what you want to tell your kids to do. And they're adults, but still, you know, you're in a foreign land. And so we got off, got back on, and went back, and they were still there. So, you know, all's well that ends well. It occurs to me that when we were in Bulgaria, I just noticed this thing with people when they go abroad, and I know that this is universal. People sort of fall into this kind of thinking that when we're visiting a place, we want to be in the middle of where everything is, where all the action is, and that makes sense. And it's, you know, we did the same thing. Like when we went to Bulgaria, we went to the capital. Of course, we flew into the capital as a hub. And of course, when the lockdown came in, they didn't allow anybody to leave. You couldn't leave Sofia. But so we did that. We did the center thing. But then what happened is that we got an apartment for $300 in Bulgaria. Now we made videos of when we were in that apartment. Now it was a small place, but still it was $300. And considering that it was a short term, which was prolonged because of the lockdown. You know, I felt like we did pretty good. It was a pretty good find. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is that there seems to be a bit of a, and it was like a learning process, or rather a discovery process. That even though we did stay in the center a little bit, we went further out from the city, because Sofia is a capital city, so it's a very big city, and it's also very touristy, and touristy means very expensive. And it is very expensive, especially for short-term folks. You know, I mentioned in other videos that I'm constantly thinking and comparing, and you know, that's kind of a contemplative thing. It's one of the benefits of retire early lifestyle. You got time on your hands. So I'm always comparing things, and so I'm thinking, okay, so we stayed in the center and it cost that much more, and when we went a little bit further out from the center, because we got this deal on this apartment, we learned that we were only 100 yards or less maybe from a grocery store, okay? And then we were also probably about more like 50 yards away from a tram, which is the transportation system in Sofia, Bulgaria was top-notch. It was the best I've seen anywhere we've traveled, and I know that we like the metros. We like the metro in Panama City a lot, and we like the metros in other places we've been, but Sofia, Bulgaria had the best transportation system, and this was in Sofia. I'm not sure if once you go out of Sofia, if you have it's because of the combination. It's not just one thing. It's not just metro. You had metro, you had tram, you had trolley bus, and then regular buses. So 4 different public transport things running around the city at all times. You could always jump in, and one of the other things was that you get one card and you jump on any of them, which was superb, and then you pay a monthly fee, just a one-time monthly fee, and just get in and out. It was just amazing. And just saying that we were like 50 yards away from the trolley bus, okay? So we were 50 yards from the trolley bus, we were like 70 yards from a grocery store, and if we wanted to walk 15 more minutes, we had several other really large shopping areas and a mall within a 15-minute walk, and then we also within a 5-minute walk, and then 2 stops on a bus, or one or 2 stops. It was very close. Honey, did we have to take a bus to go to that big, huge walking park over there in Sofia, or did we walk to it? I think we walked to it.
We walked.
Yeah, we walked to it, but you could have taken a bus, but it didn't seem like it was worth waiting for because it was only 1 stop over. So it was a huge walking park. It was a botanical gardens. We used to go to the botanical gardens back in the States a lot. Wherever we were at, because we had children, we liked going to the zoo and to the botanical garden, so we went to the botanical garden. I'm saying that we found this deal, and you would think that, you know, because you got this deal and it was $300 a month, right? You think you know, and you're not in the center, so you're out in Timbuktu away from everything, you're isolated, you this and that. No, I mean the complete opposite. We were actually near more things, and what we didn't have was the racket and noise of being in a city center. So I'm just saying that in our travels, contemplating the experience of travel and seeing that even with ourselves, we were focused on the center of the center. But the thing is, we could get on a trolley bus and 20 minutes later we're in the center. So we went to the center in Bulgaria whenever we wanted.
And there was a grocery store right across the street. Remember that?
There was a grocery store right across the street from our apartment. Right. We didn't have to get any transportation whatsoever. We walked to it too much. We went to that store 2-3 times a day. You know, the workers, some of them got tired of us. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. But, you know, we're just as lazy as the next guy. Sometimes you catch me saying things like it's laziness, this and that. I'm not judging people. I'm saying that it's human nature. You know, it's like when we first landed in Bulgaria, in Sofia, I was lazy. You know, I stopped a taxi, and but before I stopped the taxi, I educated myself as to what the rates were, and the ride was to be around a $2 ride, and of course he saw the foreigners and he quoted us $10, and we tried to negotiate it, and he'd negotiate, and he put his nose up and drove off like ha 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 ha. Well, he who laughs at last laughs best. I think that's in the Proverbs. I'm not sure of that. Somebody correct me. I think it's in the Proverbs, but I took that as an opportunity to learn how to take the trolley bus. Yeah, I was being lazy, okay? And but I wasn't, because I didn't allow myself to get gringoed. And yeah, you know, you hear people say, oh, Gringo, who cares about that? 50 cents on produce. Give me a break. That's not it. It's your whole life and everything you do. So yeah, so I got an opportunity to, you know, actually go to the tram stop and, you know, read where the trams go. You put a little effort into it. And it was an amazing experience. And the best way that I do it is like this. I'm going to give you a little tip here. The way that we do it is we get on and then we just get off at the next stop. Okay? And we walk around a little bit and we get back on. And we go again and get off on the next stop. So, and remember that we had a monthly pass, so we could get on and off whenever we wanted. So that's the way we do it. And that takes the fear away from getting on. Like when I first got to Ecuador 10 years ago, I got on a bus and I ended up in the hills, and I was freaking out. I was all the way out in the hills, and you know, anyway, I made my way back. But we figured out the hard way that you just get on and off each stop, and that's how you learn where, you know, where things are, because you get off, walk around, and you notice stuff you wouldn't have noticed. So, and you get more familiar, and you don't get so fearful, you know, of your surroundings. So, but anyway. Well, I hope I can inspire you to think outside the box in your foreign travel or even your retire early at home and abroad. And thanks for watching.